in a spirit of renewal, lights the Baltic States, Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, striving to recapture their national history.
On August 23, 1989, almost 2 million people in Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania stood together, hand in hand, forming a 650-kilometer-long human chain stretching from Vilnius to Tallinn. It was the Baltic Way, a protest that touched the hearts of people all over the world and changed the course of history forever.
Staiga lėktuvas ir kvietkai, gėlės, bijūnai. Ta emocija, jinai tikriausiai kas dalyvavo, jinai neišdils niekados.
Labai įspūdingas vaizdas, kurio niekur tu gyvenime nepamatysi, kad taip būtų tiek žmonių. Ir tada aš pradėjau galvoti, pagaliau, žmonės kažkas išvarė, išprašė iš savo trobų, iš darbų, iš visokių piknikų atvažiuoti ant plento, ant kelio į gerą pikniką iki Talino. Kaip gražu.
This historic and iconic joining of people fighting for their freedom and their independence was the beginning of the end for the Soviet Union. It was also a sign for democratically minded Russians that it was possible to push for change.
That was probably one of the most powerful signals, and it had an effect, of course, on Russians, very much so.
This powerful moment sent a message to the world, and especially to Moscow, that the Baltics wanted freedom and were poised to rejoin the ranks of democratic nations.
People who could barely identify Lithuania on a map could certainly get that something important was going on when you had an estimated 2 million people holding hands.
The world started to wake up to the plight of the Baltic nations and their long-suffering subjugation, which started with the secret protocols of the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact that divided Eastern Europe. The Baltic people's will and determination to peacefully fight for their freedom was their only power.
And in the big picture, the Baltic countries and Lithuania are relatively small compared to, at that time, the strength of the overall perceived strength of the Soviet Union. So happy, obviously, but it's like a David and Goliath fight.
It stretched across the Baltic states, and to me it was another demonstration that they may not have had the troops, they may not have had the tanks or missiles or artillery, but they had the determination to do this, and all of us, many of us I should say, wanted to believe it could happen.
It was the courage of the Baltic people to peacefully stand up to a vastly superior military power that helped usher in the final days of the Soviet Union. Only 6 months later, Lithuania declared independence, followed by Estonia and Latvia a year later. The desire for freedom became a reality when, in 1991, the whole world recognized the states of Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. And their place among democratic nations was solidified in 2004 when all 3 states joined NATO and the European Union and re-entered the Western world. The long fight for freedom and democracy was won.